Okay, this is July 27th, 2025, Orange Beginner's Corner. I picked this thing up and it's full of, so that's the kind of shape it's in. And here's what somebody did. Made this out of it. Put this in there. You cannot put an LP on it. It'll rub. It's in the way here. And I thought this was original. I kind of didn't think it was original because it didn't feel. But now I notice there's all these washers stacked back there. So this thing has to come out. Unless there's somebody set it up for 7/8 only, because there's like a piece of steel coming out of here. I think that's the channel. I mean to change the speeds. This cell phone has problems focusing. It used to self-focus, but not anymore. So I have to disconnect the tone arm from here. And so I can disconnect it. So I already took the screws out. The screws are right here. I don't know if I'm going to just shit can it or what. Just like the tone arm. But this thing here, that's what I paid for it. Gonna block out their whatchamacallit, so you can scan it. But that's what I paid for it. Plus 8.5% interest. Or sales tax, I mean. Corrupted. Better keep my mouth shut. Okay. So, as I can see here, nice hinges. It looks to me, I didn't notice it before, but there's a tube missing in here. Right here. But I didn't think the tubes were in correctly, because when I look at this, we have a 5Y3, 6F6, and a 6SK7. What I liked about this when I was looking at it in the store, I wanted something with I like them with glass tubes, and I think they're all glass. This one, there's one back here behind this can. Can't quite, I think it's glass. The 6F6 is glass, but so we got 3 tubes in a row here in the back. I wish I could turn the headlight on this camera, but cell phone, I don't know how to do that. If I can even do that. I can do this, but I don't have a brightness control, but it doesn't do a hell of a lot. So the 3 tubes going across are the rectifier. I think that's the tube missing, or the rectifier. Unless they're, I think that somebody put the 6F6 right here. That's the tube I can't see. There's a can. There's probably a can here and a can there. Yeah, the 2 cans are like that. Kitty corner of each other. So I'm going to take this thing apart, and I'm going to keep the radio part. I'm looking for a light spring to keep an idler pulled towards the turntable on another phonograph, so I could finally pull it off and get that one working. But so I'm hoping there's something like that under the turntable. I'll keep the electric motor. I wish I had more light in here, but I don't. So I will take the And the other thing I liked about this is I thought it has a field coil on a speaker. I don't have any radios that have a field coil on it. So I'm going to pause here and remove this. This is the 1682 disc in progress. Looks good back here. Not so good here. Meantime, take a look at something here. A blast from the past. If I can pull this off here. Okay. Where'd it go? Oh, shit, I might have it lost here. This one right here. I'm gonna calm the brightness down here. This is good. Really good. And that's my aunt. My aunt, and she's right here. Here's my grandma. No, that's my Aunt Marion. This is my Aunt Dorothy. Oh, wrong picture. Anyways, that's my grandma and my Aunt Marion. A snow day. Back in the 70s. So this is really good. And here's a meatloaf. And this one here looks interesting. What if it goes down here? No, right to here. This one here looks interesting to make. Well, here's the ingredients. And cooking instructions. So blast from the past. And I'm also going to try to put this on noise. And go through this and see if I can find any bad components. I think you just put it on each side of a component. It's been a while since I've been on this project. Here's my drop-in resistors to help filter it. So all I have to do is I'm just going to use a straight 1/4 inch jack and hook up to these and use alligator clips to clip it on. I'll have to pop this out because it'll over exceed the voltage of this, DC voltage of this, I think. But I think the voltage when it comes from this, it's kind of choppy, I think, to activate to make, if it's going to create noise in a component or a connection. I really think my connections are fine. It's not like I had to dump solder on to flow something. Even this hair, when I cut that off with the little grinder, I cleaned it up a little bit, and the solder flowed right in. And that doesn't even need that for noise. I mean, it's a continuous wire here, so I'll look at this too, maybe, hopefully. Okay, I got this disconnected. I'm just gonna rip it apart. I just took off the electrical tape. Actually, electrical tape actually stuck to itself, so I'm just gonna snip that out. They ran the wire up and then back down for, must be to stabilize something. So I'll get this out of here. I need, just got to take out 3 screws and probably a couple knobs. Pull a couple knobs off. So I'm thinking about keeping this thing somewhat for the radio. But the problem is here, you can't even put a record on it. It will hit this thing. So somebody maybe set this with this here for 78. It might be 78. I'm going to turn it on, but I'm afraid to right now because of the I don't know if I'm plugging the microphone or not. I usually don't talk loud enough because my throat's usually effed up. I'm going to try to keep it as is. This is original because I can see the cutout for it. That's crazy. I'll try to shine on that later. But this is going to come out. I'm hoping there's a spring in there I can use for my other turntable that holds the idler wheel up against the motor and to the side of this. I'm hoping there's one in there. I don't plan on keeping this. This one here is really loose. That's probably the tuning. Yeah, it is. So I got to tighten that up. Okay, the top of this just flew off. When I picked it up, I was gonna lift this up, but I do have that spring. It looks like, so that's what I needed. That freaking spring. That spring in focus. This rubber is still soft. Oh, here's a hard spot. Well, it's failing, but it feels a little scaly. This is probably the original. Stacked washers, tacky. But it probably made his day, made a good day's work. Somebody in their shop back in the olden days. So I'm taking this thing apart. This had it jammed in there and I had to take more parts off and it still didn't want to come out. I had to do a little bending. Well, it comes out. Still ain't gonna come out. Well, I'll take the wire cutters to it. It's not staying in there, but it's got the spring I need. Hopefully. It's not really a badly built piece of stuff. It's just a plastic turntable. That must be the speeds. I'm not sure. I haven't looked it over. It definitely is. So they probably got it hijacked into a 78 speed because LP records will not fit on here. You could probably do 78s and then 45 RPM records. Here's the peephole. I think that's supposed to be the 5Y3. This is an IF tube. There's a IF tube, and this is I'll drag it out and look at it. I think that's the triode and the two diodes. I think 12S 6.3 volt tubes. That is the 6S K7 or something. I think that's the 6S Q7, I think. But it's supposed to be the 5Y3, I think, right there. Holy crap. That was an SOB to get out. This was falling me up big time. Had to kind of force that capacitor through. And the trick of turning this, keeping that totally to the front and then tip it and get it out. So we got, I had to take the antenna out too. That had to come out too. So I got a mark thing. So this is looks like a rectifier tube to me, but it ain't a 5Y3. It's the 12SQ, 6SQ7. I probably say 12, but yeah, 6SQ7. Triode and the two diodes down here might be shielded. I don't know if I see a name on that. I don't. Looks like some rust here. Let me see if I can brighten this thing up a little bit. Well, it's all glass anyways. Here's the other one. This is a 6K6. So obviously the rectifier, I don't know what they have. That should be a 6SA7. I really don't know what's going on here. This one I read before, 6SK7, yeah. With that gridded shielding like the good old 6EH7, 6EJ7, 4EH7, 4EJ7, the same stuff. And this one here, I know it's a 6K6. It's got to be. It's just not a fancy Coke bottle style. 6F6. Okay, and this will be the 6SA7. It's probably the 5Y3. But they had the tubes in wrong, I think. This is supposed to be the 5Y3, the 6F6, probably the 12SQ7, unless if I'm wrong. No. I can't read it. They got the stuff you don't need. Large, and the stuff I need to read, small. I can't read none of it. All I can read is the GT part, which I can't. Means nothing to me. When I take a tube, I don't look at that stuff unless it's a 6L6 or something. A G, a GT, and all that stuff. Oh, that sucker is in there. Holy crap. Well, I better set this down and take it out. Okay. It's glass, that's all I can say. I can't read nothing. We'll just assume it's the 6SA7. I'll peek in there and see. I'll clean it and... Oh, yeah, it says 6SA7 right here. Had to look on the other side of the viewfinder. 6SA7. This one here is the 6F6. Same thing as a 6K6 in my book. I see no difference. Unless the one's taller and it gets in the way of the speaker to take it out or something. That's. And this one, the 6SQ7, I should say it maybe. Yeah, it says it right here. Whatever it says, it's right here. I can't even begin to read it. I think I see a Q. Okay. And the 6SK7. I like all glass tubes. I'll take these over metals any day. That was one of the reasons I bought it, and also because I don't want to plug it in right now. The reason is because this speaker, I think it's, yeah, there, it's got a field coil, and that's what I wanted, was a radio. Oops, I gotta move the antenna. I wanted a radio with a field coil. I've been looking at them on eBay, just chassis, and they want so much money. That turntable I'm working on, what's it called? Keep thinking honeycomb. That thing, I see they're selling them, I think, I have to check into them more, like over $250. Wow. What did I pay for mine? $15 and something. I bought it when I bought this. This was, was it say $23, $25, $26, $25.99. The other, that other phonograph bid, it was $15 and something, plus 8.5% interest, or sales tax. It's not even California either. So there's a lot of, I gotta get the vacuum out and clean this off. I hope this is good. I can't see it very well, but I want to get into this other bit of checking. There's a hole here, so maybe I'll put a dot of something on there. Some rubberized glue if I can score any. So I got to get on this noise testing stuff, and maybe I'm gonna keep the box and stuff and this. I'm hoping the field coil is good because I don't want to have to put it out and put a high, you know, wire wound resistor and capacitors. I want one with the working field coil here for filtering and to make the magnet. Them were speakers that were cheap when I was a kid. If it's got a whole bunch of wires on it, don't buy it. It won't work. Late 60s and up to 1975 or whatever. Don't buy it if it's got a whole bunch of wires on it. It ain't no good. I'm getting hooked up here. I had to shut this off or turn the camera on here because otherwise it might shut off on me for good. So really quick, I have to check this noise switch. So we get 120 volts and I got noise already. 120 volts there. Okay, this is the unit that goes like this. I've never been able to find that problem. I squished the tube sockets together and all this stuff. Never found it. This is going to be hard to do one-handed. I don't have the noise on yet. I think it's 120 volts, but very low milliamps or something. Okay, and I got noise already. I think it's this connection here. I don't think it's this one. Maybe it's my damn... Maybe this has got a problem. Well, obviously I'm not going to get anywhere. We'll just try it. Okay. We don't need these in the puzzle. I'll hook up here, do this swiftly because it's looks like it's going to take forever. Okay, I'll turn the noise on. Nothing. That was 220K. Now we'll go to the 1 meg. Noise on. Nothing. And I also go from there to ground because of the yellow jacket capacitor in that wax package. Noise. Can't be the yellow jacket because I think it did it when I didn't have a yellow jacket capacitor. Is this a yellow jacket? This is not a yellow jacket capacitor. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I put a yellow jacket in there. Okay, noise off. This one I can't check because of capacitor. I'll check this 2.2 meg. Seems fine. To hell with it, I'll do it. Plate capacitor. Better check that. Now I still have that one capacitor here. That's that 0.1 at 100 volts. I still have that in there. Why is it just hanging loose? I don't remember what it did. I thought it was a bypass capacitor, and then I put that there. I thought. Seems fine. Let's check out this plate capacitor. When I checked this plate capacitor, it did test good. Up to 100 volts, I think. I shouldn't say that. I don't know if I tested it. Okay. No noise. Back to this here. Back to this. I'm going to check it through the 1 meg, through this. I should pull this tube out. It could be a noisy, faulty, corroded tube socket. And to ground. Where's a good ground? Right here. So it's going through the 1 meg, through here to ground. This is ground. See what happens. Okay, now I'll go in front of the 1 meg. No noise. And the tube did test good. I hooked it up to another tube tester and figured out how to use this on the tube tester, this 6EU7. You know what's going on. I think it's here. I'm faulty at this end too. And I'm faulty here. But when I tested this with the headphones and stuff, I heard no noise, just like a 60 cycle hum. That's about it. So this is it. Someday I'll get proper connections, but I mostly use this with the audio generator and hook it into a amplifier or something. Usually. I hook this up to the binding post and then plug this into like a guitar amp or whatever. I was using it for different things with 1/4 inch. Now I heard a noise, but it could be this. The half-ass backwards bench here, 1682. Okay, today, what was today? The 26th, July 26th, 2025. Oranger Beginner's Corner. Moving on. Next step, I have to get back to that other phonograph, but I just want to jump this in and clean it. And I want to replace the electrolytics here. Let's look into there. Oh no, what's going on here? Let me pause this. Okay, back on here. It's never been serviced. It's got all the wax ones, so I'll try to restuff them and do it respect. So where's the filter capacitor? I don't know. Right here. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, 4 of them, I think. 3 of them. 3 or 4, I can't see it. So all I want to do is get new electrolytics before I put a big load on this field coil and destroy it. I don't want to destroy it. Otherwise it would have been plugged in a long time ago, because I don't do that 20 volts, 40 volts, 60 volts, 80 volts. I go full Fletcher right off the bat and see what happens. I've done it all my life. Never had a problem except for with that one oscilloscope where the chassis bolts were missing. So the I don't know, like a B plus line, main B plus line short was shorting to chassis, and that was actually the light bulb dim test that saved that one, or saved some sparking. But other than that, I usually don't have a problem with. And isolation transformers, I don't use them. I figure out and get neutral to neutral, and I mark it with white paint or white out or something, and I be sure I plug it in correctly every time. And I always make sure the protective capacitor that goes from a minus point to ground is good, not leaky or shorted. And I also try to get some reason they always want to put neutral through the switch, so when you shut it off, then hot can swing around your power, your primary windings there, or if it's string run filaments, it'll run through your filaments and still come back at you and make a more dangerous widowmaker, I guess. But if you get neutral correctly, get it right to the minus, and then to have your protective capacitor from your minus to your chassis, you're good to go. Then you can drop your insurance policy on yourself. No more widowmakers. They did that purposely. So here it is. It must just be 3. So the reason I bought it is because of the field coil. I wanted something with a field coil, and all the glass tubes, I know if you're buying them, if you were to buy them, the only one that seems to be missing is the 5Y3 or the 6X5 or whatever it was, the big bottle. 6X4 is the little bottle. I think it's okay, this is done. I'm out of time.